Welcome to the Half a Mind podcast. This is Angie Johnsey, and we are talking all about meeting the needs of your mind. Yes, you have a mind, your mind has needs, and you are the one to meet those needs. So, what I'm about to suggest to you may seem just a little odd, or it might be judged as ego building. However, it's a very necessary exercise to do as often as you can to fulfill your own mental and emotional needs, instead of looking for others to do that for us. And I know that may be a little bit of a shocker. It's like, well, wait a minute. Like, wouldn't it be better if other people could just make me feel the way that I want to feel? And that's the sooner that you learn that that is not their responsibility, the sooner you are able to then take control of and begin to take care of your mind in a way that frees you from all of the emotional disturbance and the emotional pain of the past. So, others are not supposed to meet our needs. That is our job and our job alone. And actually, we are the only ones who can do that consistently. Other people, they have their own needs. They have their own mind, that they have their own voice chattering away inside their head that's scared or needy or whatever it may be, and they have to take care of that. And that is always louder than your voice, no matter who you think you are to them. And some of us want to be the most important person in another person's life, and we have to remember, like, they have a mind just like we do, and that mind is going to get their attention before our mind gets their attention. And it should. Their mind, or their child part of them, should be priority to them, and your child should come first to you, or your own mind. So our minds need what they need, even if we think they shouldn't. The need is still there. If these needs are met from others, then this would be ego building, because it creates an ego addiction that is supported by other people. What I mean by that, a lot of people have a negative thought when you say the word ego. It's like, oh, they have a big ego, or they think a lot of themselves, or they think they know everything, or they're cocky. And yes, like, that is when we are looking, we're praising ourselves in front of people, or we're bragging about this or bragging about that. It can seem very egoic. And I'm not saying do this out loud. What I'm about to suggest to you is inner work. This is something that you're going to do on the inside, and you never have to go around bragging about anything or praising yourself in front of people. But definitely, I want you to be doing that on the inside. Nobody has to know, and nobody's going to call you cocky or say you have a big ego. But this is what we're talking about today. This is important. So if it comes to ourselves and our inner dialogue, if we're doing it for ourselves, if we're speaking it internally, that is confidence building. That is not ego building. That is building your confidence. That is speaking to that mind, speaking to that inner child, and building that child's confidence. This is a good thing. This is not a bad thing that's going to lead us, you've heard the saying, a rise comes before a fall. This isn't setting ourselves up for a fall. This is setting ourselves up to continue to rise more and more and more, to push ourselves up internally, to build that mind up, to meet those needs, so that child, that mind part of you, and I'm using the word mind and child interchangeably. So to build that mind up, to build that child up so that it stays calm and relaxed. Because when it has its needs met, your mind relaxes. I want to say that again. When you are meeting your mind's needs by doing what I'm about to tell you to do here, when you meet those needs, your mind, like, takes a deep breath, like, thank you. Like, I've been waiting for somebody to acknowledge me, somebody to say that I'm right, for somebody to believe me, for somebody to say that I'm good at something, to brag on me about something, to praise me about something, to encourage me about something, to support me. I've been waiting on that. Maybe all of your life you've been waiting on other people to do that for you, and they just wouldn't give it to you. And it's, as you get older, pains are there because of that, and your needs weren't met, so you have all these pains in the basement of your tidy mind house. And what we're doing is we're learning to undo all of that pain of the past and begin to give yourself what you need. And that is building yourself up inside, confidence building. And that does not create a dependency. Like that's, the when you're wanting it from other people, that's what creates a codependency. I need that person to continue to praise me. Okay, well, what kind of actions and behaviors do I have to do to get praise from that person? And you can exhaust yourself, you really can, trying to get your needs met from another person. And that's codependency. How can I please them? How can I make them love me? How can I make them think I'm a good person? What do I need to do? Because I've made them the judge of my life here. And now I've got to do all the actions and tick all the boxes that make them think what I want them to think. And the thing is, we can't control what they think. Like I said, they have a mind, and their mind's going to come first to them, just like your mind comes first to you. They're going to hear their mind. So no matter how hard you try, they're going to think, their mind's going to tell them what it wants to tell them about you. So the best thing is to take that power, take that away from another person. You don't want to give that away. That's what we call, when we say giving your power away, that's what we're talking about. You're letting another person decide if you're good. You're letting another person decide if you're good enough, smart enough, pretty enough, um, uh, enough of anything, or whatever identity you're wanting to be. You're putting the results of that in another person's hands. And until they tell you and they confirm it for you or they validate it for you, you don't feel good. So that's giving your power away. So what we're talking about today is confidence building. And this creates a feeling of fulfillment and a feeling of safety for your mind. And I've talked before about the four needs, and I want to tell you what they are again. The four basic needs of everybody's mind, or everybody's mind child or DJ, whatever you've been listening to. I've referred to it in several different ways. All of our minds, all of the mind childs have four basic needs. Now, there's other needs that surround that. We'll call them bonus needs, depending on what health type you are, and I'm about to get into that. But you have four basic needs: to be seen, to be heard, to be wanted, and to be safe. And if all four of those are met, then that's when we say, I feel loved. So let's get into what may be those bonus needs that you may have. And that depends on what health type you are. A health type is something that classifies you based on your genetic makeup, based on the shape of your body, and that tells us what kind of mind you have and what kind of needs that mind, those bonus needs that mind will have. So all of them will have the four basic ones, and then you have some bonus needs. So see if you can find yourself in this as I talk about it here. So here's the experiment that I want you to do. Every day, after you find your needs, you need to get to know your mind. And if you haven't done that yet, you can take the Tidy Mind House course. You can go online, my Tidy Mind Online, and you can grab that Tidy Mind course, and you can learn all about the house. You can learn all about the mind house, all about the rooms, and you can get to know your mind and what it's doing in there. So I suggest you do that if you haven't done that yet. But once you get to know your needs, and the best way to do that, really, the simplest way, is just to ask it. The next time you're feeling upset inside, you're feeling bothered, your emotions are all disturbed, stop what you're doing. Don't just, ignore it or try to distract yourself. Like, stop what you're doing and see your mind, this mind child, running around like a crazy person inside your tidy mind house, and say, whoa, 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 whoa. I know you're trying to fix something, you're problem solving, you're trying to figure this out, you're trying to work out a solution. Wait, what's wrong? And you can ask it two questions. What do you need, or what are you afraid of? It's one of the two. It's either needy or it's afraid of something. That's why it starts disturbing your emotions and running around crazy in the tidy mind house, and is trying to come up with a solution because it needs something or it's scared of something. And the fear will always come down to a need also. It probably needs supported, comforted, validated, something like that. So it's always underneath it, there's a need. So find out what your needs are. So you can, if you have a journal, you can go ahead and write down. I gave you clues here. You've got 4 of them: seen, heard, wanted, and safe. That's basic. And now I'm going to tell you a few more things here, and you can see if you have any of these other needs. You write those down in your journal. And then as you are becoming emotionally upset, stop what you're doing. Say, hey, what is wrong? What do you need? And you have to have a conversation with this part of you to figure it out. You have to say, what do you need? Well, I need them to stop doing this, this, and this. Well, why? Why do you need them to stop doing this, this, and this? It's just like if a child is upset and you go to them and say, let me help you. Let me help you work this out. And you ask a series of questions to get to the bottom of it. So keep a journal, or just even if you don't want a journal, just take a piece of paper and at least find out your needs. At least find out what your mind needs, okay? It's important. And then once you find out what those are, every morning or at least once a day or at night, I don't care what time it is, you can do it 50 times a day. I don't really care. But every day I want you to take that list and I want you to meet those needs for your mind. So you are the caretaker of this mind. So spend at least 2 minutes. Just fulfill its mental and emotional needs. Be as kind and supportive as you possibly can. Be very gentle and compassionate with your language. Just like you're speaking to a child, you are speaking to your inner child right here. So if you don't know what a DJ is, and you may have heard me say that term a couple of times, I'm just talking about the mind. I'm talking about the inner child. It's all the same thing. And if you take the Tidy Mind House course, it will explain exactly why I call it DJ because it spins records for you. It spins audios for you all the time. So this is a very big part of building a strong and healthy inner relationship built on self-love. This is what self-love looks like. This is how you do self-love. People throw that word around all the time, and it's just like they don't even know what it is. They don't even know how to tell you how to do it. They just like to talk about it. But this is these are the action steps you take to actually do self-love. So, um, if you want to find out your health type first, then there's a health type test. You can just go up to the top of this page and just take it. It doesn't take but about 3 minutes, and you can find out what health type you are. I'm going to be talking about 3 different ones. So here's a hint I'm going to give you in these descriptions that might help you find out some of those bonus needs that you might be still looking to have met by other people. And again, what did we learn? We just learned it's not their responsibility to make you feel a certain way. It is yours. It is you as the caretaker. You are to make that needy mind feel what it wants to feel. And you do that by internal, supportive, loving dialogue. Listen, you've got a dialogue going on all the time anyway, but it's normally negative and critical and attacking and blaming and shaming, and it's not controlled by you. It's not intentional, it's not purposeful, it is just mindless, and it is a war going on inside of you. And what I'm talking about is changing that. You know how powerful it is. What happens when that mind starts attacking and starts that criticizing and that negative stuff? It's like you feel bad, right? So this works. Like if you'll take 2 minutes every day, this will change things. This will change how you walk through the day. It will change how you walk through life. Your mind will start to relax. It will start to trust you, and things will start to change. So here we go. We have sensors and crusaders. So sensors and crusaders need recognition of achievement. Sensors and crusaders are usually the taller, thinner, leaner. It's the women who can just eat anything and never put on weight. They might get, as we get older, might get a little weight around the belly, and that's about it. And they're tall. They got the long model legs. They look amazing, and it's like, how can you just eat that? And I just look at it and gain 5 pounds. I don't really understand. So if you got those kind of friends, or you are that, bless your soul. You are lucky. You probably are not listening to this because usually sisters and crusaders don't live in the emotional world like a lot of the other types do. But if you're here and that sounds like you, the needs of your mind is it likes to be recognized. Look what I did. Respect me for this massive thing I've accomplished. Be proud of me. You're usually very driven, very goal oriented. You make checklists and you're doing lots of things to move forward constantly. You're usually very logical, very smart, very intelligent, and you like to tick those boxes. But your mind will need that praise. It will need that acknowledgement of what you did. It will need, go to bed at night and say, I'm so proud of you. You're such a good mind. You accomplished such great things today. Really give it that recognition and that respect. Respect it. I respect you, mind. Now we're going to move on to the activators and connectors. Most of my audiences are ladies, so it's the curvy girls. It's usually we're the hourglass shape, or activators are usually a little more lean, we can build muscle pretty easy, have a pretty high metabolism. Yeah, so what we like is, and I'm an activator, we like praise for creations. Look what I have made. Look what I created. Look what I invented. Look what I did. Tell me how amazing my creation is. How smart I am to have thought of it. Tell me, because I love it. So if you're an activator or connector, you're a curvy girl, or for guys even, you're kind of equal on top as you are on bottom. You build muscle mass really easily. You usually very good at hand-eye coordination, good at sports. So praise for creations. You just like a lot of praise, and we can also like a lot of attention. So when you're working with your mind, you might say, I see you. Your mind might want to really be hit on that seen and heard part, and wanted, because rejection is a big part of the activator and connector's experience. I talked about that in another podcast, about how we are easily rejected because as children, we're a lot. We're very energetic. We're all over the place. We're doing lots of different things, and we jump from this thing to that thing. We're all over the place. We're the climbers on the cabinets. We're the getting into the drawers. We're the curious ones, and usually the risk takers, the daredevils. So we're our parents' worst nightmare. And so a lot of times they'll say, go away, go do something else, go, oh my God, just go entertain yourself. Just, because we need a lot of that attention. We need praise for what we've done. We're coloring the pages and saying, look what I did. And we want that. We love it. So our minds love attention, loves praise, loves to know it's wanted and needed. So really pour that on thick for your little activator or connector mind. If you are a guardian or diplomat, guardians or diplomats are the apples and the pears. So if you've got a body shape where you're kind of bigger on top, you're like, you know what I'm talking about, an apple or a pear. We've all seen those diagrams. You guys, oh my God, are the best friends to have, and let me tell you why. You remember every birthday. You not only remember every birthday, you will go out of your way to throw the party, to write the thank you note, to send the Christmas cards. You probably still send Christmas, even though everything's online now, you probably actually sit down and you have a Christmas card list, and you're probably still mailing those out. That is a guardian and a diplomat. You are amazing at that. The thing is about that is, for you guys, they're so strongly ingrained in you that you don't quite understand. You have such deep values, such strong values, and such hard rule books. And you don't quite understand why everybody else doesn't do the same thing you do. It just blows your mind. You can't understand it. You cannot wrap your head around why other people wouldn't take the time out of their day to send that thank you note. And you're very offended by it. So your mind, first off, I want you to understand you are blessed in that area. You're gifted. That comes so natural to you. But for the rest of us, it just doesn't. It doesn't mean we don't love you, doesn't mean we don't value you, doesn't mean you're not important. It just means we're not going to take the time to tell you in the same way that you would take the time to tell us. And you may need to sit and digest that for a minute because that's some tough information to get. So your mind will like the appreciation of your gift of sacrifice, because you do. You will put your mind's needs, um, you'll put that in the background and you'll say, I want to make all of you guys feel good. I work in the backgrounds just to make sure everybody's got what they need when they need it, and y'all don't even notice it. So it really hurts you guys when people don't notice just how much you sacrifice for them and your gift of service. So you're all the time giving and doing for other people. Notice the value I bring and all that I do quietly in the background so everyone else can feel good and have what they need. See me, notice me, appreciate me, respect me for that, value me for that. So that's a guardian and diplomat mind. So if you are this, and you may not even have to take the health talk to know this, but I encourage you to do it just to get clear on it. But that is your mind, and it will need that appreciation. It will need to know it's valued. It will need to know that you see it. So make sure you spend time every day, meet the 4 basic ones, but also hit those extra bonus needs too. And I'm telling you, you're going to notice such a difference in how your mind is becoming more calm and more relaxed and starting to trust you. What does that mean, calm and relaxed? It just means it's not in there in that tidy mind house, stirring up problems, stirring up your emotions, and making you feel bad and bothered all day. Angry, upset, worried, all those emotions, all those things that we try so hard to overcome. I'm telling you why it happens right here. Like, it's that simple. Your mind's needs are not being met. I'm telling you now how to meet them. So give this a shot. Like, give it a try. Just do it for the next 3 days. If that, or just do it in the morning. No, I need at least 3 days. Come on, guys. Y'all can give me 3 days. At least 3 days every day. I don't care what time of day. Give this to your mind. You can close your eyes. You can just sit quietly, close your eyes. See this little child in front of you, which is you. It's your mind, and it has needs, and it wants to trust you, but it probably doesn't yet because you've probably been fighting with it, saying, just, oh, would you stop worrying about this, and would you stop being mad about that? And don't fight with it anymore. You're there to care for it. And tell it all these things. Hey, come here. Do you know how I see you? And let me tell you how I see you. I see your big heart. I see how amazing you are. I see how beautiful you are. Also, censors, another note, censors and crusaders, they also like recognition of their beauty, or their, because usually they're very graceful looking beings. They're graceful and beautiful, and they have elegant features, and they like people to notice that. So you need to your mind will need that too. Tell them, like, admire me, um, really take me in. So if you're a censor or crusader, that's just a little extra note for you. But bring that child in and tell it how much you see it. Tell it how you see it. Tell it how much you hear it. Tell it how much you want it. This is why I want you around. This is why I think you're amazing. This is what I love about you. Tell it that it's safe with you. You are safe with me. I know you don't know me well, and I just showed up on the scene as your caretaker, but I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to commit to get to know you. I'm going to take care of you. We're going to work this out together. And every day I'm going to tell you these things, and I'm going to meet your mental and emotional needs. And through the day today, if you get upset with me, or if you get upset with anything at all, I'm going to stop what I'm doing, and I'm going to see you, and I'm going to hear you, and I'm going to ask some questions. I'm going to say, what do you need? Or what are you afraid of? And I'm going to do that until you come to the point that you trust me. And I know that when you trust me, you're going to be so calm and so relaxed. And then you're going to be activated in a brand new way where you're not in my mind house creating problems and dramas and messes, but you're in my mind house hanging out with me in the mission room, and we're making something of our life. We're enjoying our life together, and that's what is going to happen if you will just give this a try. So, thank you so much. This has been episode 2 of the Half a Mind podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. Follow me on the gazillion social media things out there. Pinterest is my newest one. I'm getting a new board set up so I can organize this content in easy, quick reference points. You can also find my Tidy Mind online. You can go just type in tidyminds.teachable.com. I'll put all the links where you need them, and find me there, and you can see all the content. It's kind of like my house, and you can just come in and you can get to know the house, and you get to know all the rooms, and we do different work in different rooms. So I'm very excited to share all that with you. And you can just scroll down, actually, if you're on my website, you can just scroll down below this audio that you're listening to, and you can actually see all of those rooms that I have and the content that I have stored in there for you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time on episode 3, where we will be discussing the past room. What is in your basement? Thanks, guys.